Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know, guys. Roshni, we will not be able to do that. Okay, great. So my voice is audible and nobody's having any kinds of problems. That's amazing. Okay, okay. So today we are going to start off with learning React. Okay, we'll try to understand why do we require React, how is React used, and all this kind of stuff in the first half. In the second half, we will be trying to understand what is a full stack web developer, what are the different jobs and different career opportunities that are there as a full stack developer in India as of this particular point of time, and how can you get those opportunities. These are the two things that we'll be discussing in our today's class. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I hope that everyone is all right. I hope that everyone is all right. Please do let me know. Great. Amazing, guys. Amazing. Okay. So, how was your day, guys? Please let me know. Rahul, we will be discussing this in the second half of our today's class. Difference between React and React Native. Okay. The second half, we will be discussing that as well. Okay. Okay. The project for Python and data visualization, I will be posting it by tonight. There was some work in the office in the morning, so I wasn't able to complete it. So I'll be posting it by tonight itself, guys. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm also fine. Anish, thank you so much for asking. Okay. So again, I'll just repeat that we'll be starting off with React today onwards. Try to understand how React functions and why React is used and why you need to learn React. Okay, in the first half. In the second half, we will be discussing about full stack web development. What are the career opportunities? What are the different things that you need to learn? How can you grab those opportunities? So all that we will be discussing today. Okay. Vishal, like I said, these boot camps aren't meant to be a complete overview of React. These are just like an introductory sessions to React itself. We will try to understand React, we'll try to learn the basics of React, and we'll do a project in React. So the 3 days will go on like that. Today we'll try to understand what is React, why is it used. Tomorrow we'll be doing a bit of practice, understanding the concepts of JSX and React, and then day after tomorrow we'll be having the project. This is how we will be doing. Okay. The Hotstar project submission date has been mentioned in the video itself. Please do check it out. For the Python and data visualization project, like I said, I was a bit busy in the morning due to some office work, so I was able to complete it. Okay. I will be pushing up the Python and data visualization project by tonight itself. Okay. Conduct bootcamps for more core subjects like VLSI. We will not be conducting bootcamps on maybe VLSI, but yeah, we might consider like conducting bootcamps like on topics like IoT, Arduino, and all this kind of stuff. So we are thinking about that, but we are not very sure. Okay, so okay, so I'll just repeat once again. Okay, first of all, the video. Okay, so if somebody is asking in the live chat about the video of the Python and data visualization bootcamp, please let them know that the video will be uploaded by tonight. Okay, because I was having some work at the office, because these questions will be coming again and again, and I will not be able to give time to them. Okay. The second thing is that today we will be starting off with understanding what is React, why is React used, some examples where React and use its functions, all this kind of stuff in the first half. In the second half, we'll be discussing about what is full stack web development, what are different technologies that you need to learn for that, what are the career opportunities, how you should be focusing about like preparing for those career opportunities and grabbing those opportunities as well. Tomorrow we'll be having a hands-on practice in React. We'll be learning the basics of React as well, and day after tomorrow we'll be doing the project in React. So that will be the 3 days plan that I have conducted for you guys right now. Okay, will that be fine with you guys? Please let me know. Okay, so in the yesterday's lecture, we were discussing about HTML. We can like considered a basic knowledge of HTML that we have done up till this point of time. From today onwards, our main goal will be to understand React as well. So should we start off with our class, guys? Please do let me know. Should we start off with our today's class? Please let me know, guys. Okay, great. So let's get started. Okay, so React, let's go to React documentation first of all. This is the getting started documentation of React as you're able to see. And it has been described as a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. So basically, what do you understand by the word library? When you think about a library, you consider about a physical library that you have seen in your colleges or in your schools or in your local area as well. And right over there, there are a lot of many number of books that have various information about different stuff, and you're able to take about one of the books. For example, you have been given an assignment from your college, you go to the library, you find a book related to that assignment, you read through it, and then use that knowledge to be able to recreate the assignment that has been given to you. Think about JavaScript libraries in such a way itself. React is a JavaScript library for major focus upon web development. If you want to build beautiful websites, the front end of the entire website, you will be using this JavaScript library where the tools and the knowledge and the techniques have already been built by someone else. If you're directly coding it directly in JavaScript, if you're trying to make an entire website directly in JavaScript, it will take a lot of time for you to code it out because you will have to code it from scratch. So for example, if you want to deploy a particular website, if you want to host a particular website, if you want to render a particular website, all these different tools and techniques that you will be using when you're creating a website have already been built by the engineers at Facebook. So React was basically developed at Facebook itself. So the engineers at Facebook, to make sure that the ease of creating a website is as simple as possible, created some basic tools that would help you guys out into making websites in a very easy manner. Okay, so that is where React comes into place. Now, as we have previously in the yesterday's class as well discussed about the same, that React is a particular subject that is currently used the most as a front-end web development framework in the entire industry. That makes it a very good technology to learn because it increases your like rate of getting accepted in a particular company as well, because most of the companies are using React at the end of the day. Even if they are not using React, whatever other frameworks are there, they are just like children of React. They have been made after React came into the picture. So they take most of their inspirations from React itself. So it becomes very easy to switch to some other like framework as well. Okay, so that is the reason why learning React is very important. But why React is like, even if it came very early on, but what are the features that makes it so like better to use than other technologies as well? So let us look at Airbnb. Airbnb is like one of the most used websites in the entire world for booking travel destination stays. Okay, so I've also like taken up Airbnb, and I felt that it was quite nice. So as you're able to see right over here in this Airbnb, you are having these cards. These cards are there, okay? Each of these cards contain a picture which has a lot many number of pictures of the location that you are going to visit. It consists of the name of the place where it is currently situated. So MV Maldives, it's the new listing. It is 1111 kilometers away. It is available from 28th July to 2nd August, and the cost per night has already been put up right over here. And as you're able to see, all the other cards as well contain the exact same information, just the info is different. Exact same knowledge about each of these cards is basically different, but the pattern in which they have been listed out is the exact same. The name of the place, whether it is new, if it is not new, then how many people have started, okay, what is the ratings, how many kilometers away it is, when it is available, what is the costing per night, and so on and so forth. And as you're able to see, if you are like creating this entire thing using just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then you will have to create each of these cards separately. Each of these cards you will have to create it separately. This is where React comes into place. In React, you just create one of these cards and you call this as the card component. You will create only one of these cards and you will call it as the cards component. And then you can reuse this particular code any number of times. Think about it as a function. Think about the component as a piece of HTML code as a function itself. You have created a function of HTML code which you can use n number of times to create 10,000, 20,000 different cards without having to write all the code or copy paste all the code again and again. That is one of the main uses of React. The concept called as components. Think about it as like a burger. Okay, think about it as a burger. In a burger, you are having the patties. In the burger, you are having the lettuce, onions, tomatoes, sauce, buns, and what do you have? Pickles as well, maybe if you are taking up that. So all these components are there inside a bun, inside a burger. Now, when you're creating a burger, you could put the patty in the middle, patty at the end. You can put the two cheese slices on either sides of the patty. You can put the lettuce on the top, on the bottom, on both the sides. You can put the tomato anywhere in this entire combination while creating the entire burger. The same goes on for components in React as well. Components in React are also like made once. You will be creating a component. Okay, so whenever you are having any website, any website we have already discussed has three major components, that is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, any website that you're using at any point of time has three major components, that is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So when you're loading a particular website, okay, when you're making a header or a footer or anything like that, all your code, all your HTML goes into the HTML folder, all your CSS code goes into the CSS folder, all your JavaScript goes to the JavaScript folder. Now, in the early days, before React came into the picture, when Facebook existed at that point of time, whenever a user went on the Facebook page, if he wanted to see whether you are having a notification or not, he would have to refresh the entire website. You would have to refresh the entire website to check whether any notification is there or not. Because any component, for example, the notification button was not able to communicate with the server. If you had to reload the entire page so that it was enabling it to communicate, the entire page was able to communicate with the server itself, take out updates and show the updates to you. What React did was, each of the components, for example, you are having your notification bar, you're having your notification bell. So this is a component on its own. This component itself, this notification bell component itself, has its very own HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, it has its very own HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So each button is, for example, right over here, you are having become a host. Okay, this entire button would have its very own HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. You don't have to like write the entire website in HTML and put up the CSS, then go and write the JavaScript. Not like that. Every single component is like a website on its very own. Every single component has its own HTML, has its own CSS, and its own JavaScript right over there. Okay, so that basically helps that button to communicate directly with the servers with ease. Okay, it helps that button to communicate directly with the servers with ease. So for example, if I'm going to my Instagram page, if I'm going to my Instagram page, before the existence of React, I would have to like refresh the entire page to check if I have any more messages or not, any more notifications or not. So I will have to refresh the entire page to be able to do so. Okay, then I will be able to see that, okay, I have these many number of notifications. Right now, what is happening is your entire website is now divided into components. Okay, so for example, this heart button right over here is its very own component with its very own HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So it is able to communicate directly with the server without like affecting anything else on the web page. For example, if I'm going home on my Instagram account, if I'm like going slowly and I'm scrolling down below, at one particular point of time, as you're able to see, I'm scrolling down, neither anything on the left hand side nor on the top nor on the right hand side is changing. If I'm scrolling down vigorously, you'll be able to see at one particular point of time the posts start loading. It is loading more posts. It didn't have to refresh the entire page so that I was able to see more posts. I didn't have to refresh the entire page to see more posts. It loaded more posts for me automatically. As I'm scrolling down, it loaded at a particular point of time, it starts loading new posts for me. I don't have to refresh the entire page. So what is happening right over here is, let's try to understand this. Let's try to understand this. Just take up the snipping tool. This is the current website that we are on. Okay, as you're able to see, this is the current website that we are on. Let's try to understand what is happening. So each of the portions of the image, okay, each portion of the website is its very own component. For example, this particular portion, this entire nav bar is its very own component. This will be one of the components. This entire block of like page would be its very own component. This entire thing, okay, this entire thing will be its very own component where the posts live. This particular part will be its very own component right over here. Inside of that as well, we will be having different components. For example, this will be one of the components, that is the logo. The search button will be one of its component. All these icons will be one of these components. And inside those icons as well, we'll be having many components inside of that. So this will be one component, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. Similarly, right over here, this will be one of the components. This will again be one of the components. So items with similar taste will be a common component right over there. Okay, inside the post section, so each of the post itself, so from right over here, so this is also repeated. Okay, this entire section is also repeated up till the very end. This is something that every post will contain. This will be a post component right over there, so you don't have to write the code for post every single time. Okay, so this will be its component. So each component will have its very own HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, where it is able to communicate directly with the servers at ease. Okay, so this number of likes that are there, number of comments that are there, the comments themselves will keep on updating itself without having to refresh the entire page. And that is where the concepts of React come into place. This is why React was so popular that when Facebook launched React, everybody started using React immediately. Okay, the second thing that you need to understand is, yesterday we looked at that the entire website can be represented in a tree-like structure. Okay, the entire website can be represented in a tree-like structure itself. If you remember this, guys, please let me know. Do you remember this? Yesterday we had dealt with that the entire website can be represented in a tree-like structure. Please let me know, guys. Do you remember this correctly? Exactly. So this basically I told that the first node will be HTML, but I was like hiding one more fact, like above that there is one more node called as document. Okay, that is basically called as document right over here. And this is basically called as DOM tree. Okay, this is basically called as DOM tree or document object model. Okay, this is called as DOM tree or document object model. Okay, so let's assume that this particular element right over here is a checkbox. This particular element is right over here a checkbox. So initially in the like very old websites, if you wanted to check this particular checkbox on, okay, you want to check it, okay, right over there, then you would have to reload the entire website to be able to see that that has been checked or not. You have to reload the entire website so that the entire DOM tree is able to reload according to it. Okay, that was basically what was happening. Okay, so in the very old websites, you had to reload the entire page to check whether this particular checkbox has been checked or not. And that will automatically, whenever you are reloading any website, that refreshes the entire DOM tree, because the entire DOM tree will again get rendered. So it will refresh the entire DOM tree. And this was a very cumbersome like thing. Okay, you cannot have notifications like that. You cannot have different type of posts to be reloaded at every point of time. So this was very difficult for filling up forms and everything. So what does React does is React has a concept of virtual DOM. React has a concept called as virtual DOM, guys. And so real DOM is what we have learned about document, and then we are having HTML, then we are having the body and the head tag, and then we are having the different stuff inside of that, and so on and so forth. Okay, so what is virtual? For example, again, this is a checkbox right over here. What does virtual DOM do is, whenever you are checking something, okay, whenever you're checking something, it will retain, okay, it will not check it right over here. It will not check it inside the real DOM. It will create a new DOM. It will create a virtual DOM, a copy of this particular DOM right over here. Okay, whenever you are doing anything on the website, will create a copy of the exact same DOM tree. It will create the copy of the exact same DOM tree right over here, and it will check the checkbox in the virtual DOM. It will then check between the changes. Okay, it will check the changes between the original, the real DOM tree, and the virtual. It will compare that, okay, these two nodes are the same, these two nodes are the same, these two nodes are the same, and so on and so forth. It will find that, okay, this particular node has changed, this node has changed. So instead of re-rendering the entire thing, so re-rendering and reloading the entire page so that your new DOM is able to reflect that changes, it just replaces the real DOM. It replaces this node from the real DOM with the node from the virtual DOM. It will just replace these two nodes, so that your real DOM right now has updated itself without having to update every single node. It just had to update that particular checkbox itself. And this is how it is able to communicate with the servers without having to reload or refresh the entire website. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. And this basically helped your pages load faster, work in a very synchronous manner, and you were able to pass on data very easily. Okay, that is the reason why React became such a big hit across the entire world. Okay, and as people started using React more and more often, companies also started incorporating it, because it made the entire development process as well as from the client's end and very easy for it to use. Just think about it in such a way when you are having, so I will just repeat myself again, no issues in that. Okay, so the real DOM, we have studied it yesterday. The real DOM, we have studied it yesterday, that you can represent the entire website in the format of a tree. And the tree-like structure is basically called as document object model. Okay, document object model. Now, what initially in the early days, if you are having a checkbox in your website and you want to check it, okay, so you would have to refresh the entire website to be able to see whether that box has been checked or not. Okay, you would have to refresh the entire website to check whether that box has been checked or not. Okay, and that made the entire process of filling up a form or doing anything with the website very slow, because every time you want to do something on the website, you have to refresh the entire page. Now, what React did was, it kept the real DOM right over here. So for example, you want to check this particular checkbox, it will keep the real DOM. It will make a copy every time you're doing something on the website. Every time you're doing something to the website, okay, you are keeping, React will keep the real DOM with it. Okay, React will keep the real DOM with it. It will create a copy of the DOM, that is called as the virtual DOM. It will create a copy of the DOM, and that copy is like the exact same copy of what you are able to see inside the real DOM. Now, in this copied version of the real DOM, this checkbox is checked. In this copied version of the real DOM, the checkbox is checked inside the virtual DOM. Now React will compare both the DOM trees. Okay, React will compare it node by node. So okay, first node is the exact same, the second node is the exact same, third node is the exact same, the fourth node is the exact same. This particular node is different. So it is found that these two nodes are a bit different from each other. Now what it will do is, instead of reloading the entire page and refreshing the entire DOM tree so that it is able to showcase that change itself, it just replaces this node. It just replaces this node in the real DOM tree by the node from the virtual DOM tree. It replaces this real node from the real DOM tree by the node from the virtual DOM tree. And that is how you are easily able to get the changes reflected on your website without having to refresh the website itself. And that basically saved a lot of time. It made your websites work on a very high speed manner itself. Okay. That's affecting the copy of DOM and replacing it with the real DOM affects the speed. Yes, a lot, because it now you don't have to wait for like the entire website to reload. You're not recreating. When you're reloading the entire website, you're sending a request to the server sends back the file, then you are reloading, restructuring the entire DOM tree. So that takes a lot of time. What React does, it uses JavaScript. It has some React DOM. It is the library that comes up with React that you use to read, that has the code already written in it. Think about it, all the knowledge is already there. You don't have to write this code. It's something that someone from Facebook has already implemented for you. It creates a virtual DOM. It creates a DOM that is in code itself. So it is a very fast process. And then changing the nodes also happens in just milliseconds. So it speeds up the entire website by almost like 100 to 1,000 times. That is why you want to have like React right over there. Okay. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. The real DOM is basically built by the entire browser itself. Okay, on the browser itself, it builds the real DOM right over there. Virtual DOM is just made in code. Okay, it's just a code. It's not exactly a DOM tree. We call it virtual DOM because it's virtual in nature. Okay, it's just existing in code itself. It's not something that has a physical existence in the entire browser. It's just something that you have coded it in the background. Not you, basically someone from Facebook has coded it for you. Okay. You guys able to understand this? Please let me know. And that is the reason why like React is so fast, and websites basically use React all the time. Okay. Okay. So let's get started with a bit of code right now. Okay. Okay. So let's start from right over here. Let's remove this. Require this. Okay. Okay. So this is a particular website that I've already created. Like this is an entire code sandbox that has already been created by me. Okay. Akshay Soni, yeah, man, I don't have to repeat every single day that the Microsoft certificates will be sent by Microsoft. It will take a week or two. Please don't disturb the class. Okay, if you don't want to study, you can leave the class, but don't disturb it. Okay. Every single website, whether it be Google Docs, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Uber, Ola, every single website that you are visiting at any point of time, it uses this concept of virtual DOM. That has basically changed the entire industry, how it works and how the websites are loaded up. So this is a very important concept, guys. Very important. Okay. This is usually asked in interviews as well a lot, like the concept of virtual DOM, real DOM. Of course, there's a lot more to virtual DOMs. Okay, this is just an overview that I'm able to give you guys so that you are able to start off with React. But there's a lot of different things that goes behind the scenes as well. Okay. Okay. Amrita, I've already told that the project, I was not able to upload the project video today morning due to some office work. I'll be uploading it in the night itself. Okay. Okay, so let's get started right over here. So this is an HTML page that I have created, as you're able to see. You don't need to understand a lot right over here. Okay, you just need to know that we will be writing all our React code inside this index.js file. Okay, right over here we have two dependencies that I've also installed for you guys, that is React and React DOM. Okay, so these are the two dependencies that have been installed, and right now we'll start off with the a bit of code just to make sure that like we have done some coding as well today. Tomorrow we'll be going a lot in depth into the code and everything. Today just to like just start off with something like you guys are able to see, because I wanted to discuss about React and how it is used and why it is very important to learn. Right now we'll just start with a very small, like we'll just print hello world on our website using React, and then we will move on to understanding about full stack web development. Don't worry about it, it will be a very easy process, guys. Please focus a lot. Okay, so first we are going to so React is a library. Okay, React and React DOM both are libraries that are there. Okay, we need to call that libraries. We need to, so we are having these dependencies installed right over here, React and React DOM. So we need to tell our JavaScript file that we are going to use React and React DOM. For that, the code that goes on is var React. Okay, that is a variable called as React that requires require React. Now React is basically your library. This is the library that you have installed right over here, and you're saving it. Okay, you're requiring it. You're telling, JavaScript is basically telling that, okay, I need this particular library. This library, I will be utilizing it down in my code. This is what you are saying right over here. Okay, the second particular library that you want is var React DOM, and that would also be a require statement. And you will be requiring React DOM as well. You'll be requiring React DOM as well right over here. So you have required, okay, you have told, like JavaScript is basically telling that these are the two files that I will be using. Now why React and React DOM, we'll be able to understand it like in the next class tomorrow. Don't worry about it. This is just a small like a hello world program that we are creating right over here for in React. Before starting React, this is just a brief hello world program that we are creating. Okay, so now we'll be using React DOM. Okay, we will be using React DOM.render method, okay, to render something out on our screens. Okay, so we want to render something out on our website. This is the website that we are currently having right over here. Let me just open this website. So let me, so right over here, this is the website that we are having right over here, and it is showing some error because of course we haven't completed the code that we need to write. Okay, so we are going to render like what do we want to render? Okay, what do you want to render? And then you want to specify where do you want it to render. Okay, these are the two arguments that you need to pass on to this particular function. React.render is a particular method from React DOM, react.dom.render. It will basically help you render this particular element, whatever HTML element that you want to render out to your screen. You will be able to put that HTML element right over here. Okay, so HTML element you want to render, that is our first argument. And the second, where do you want it to be rendered? Okay, so let's put on the first HTML element that we want to render as the h1 tag right over here. And we'll write hello world in this. And the next particular thing, where do you want it to be rendered? Okay, so I want it to be rendered inside the index.html file inside this div tag right over here. I want it to be rendered inside this div tag. Now this ID that I've given to this div tag, ID is basically like your roll number. Okay, when you are in a school, your roll number is unique. Am I right, guys? Your roll number is unique. Please let me know, guys. To render something, render is an English word, guys. To render something, okay, render is not a technical term. Render is an English word. Don't you guys know the meaning of render? Render is an English word, guys. Render is not a technical term. Render is an English word, guys. Please, please, if you don't know the meaning of render, just take up a dictionary and read it out. It's an English word. If you're not familiar, if your vocabulary is not that strong, I'll just suggest you guys to take up a dictionary and just read the meaning of render. Okay, to basically render something, to basically show something, to basically put something on. Okay, to attach something, to render something to your screen. Okay, to process something and to show you something. Okay, that is the basic process of rendering. Okay. Okay, so right over here, I'm having the ID as root. Okay, so just like you're having your school itself, for those who are using YouTube for the very first time, I'm able to I understand that you're not very technically sound or something like that. No issues in that. This is a YouTube video. There are three buttons on the top of the YouTube video on the right hand side of your screen. Just click on that, go to settings, quality, adjust as per your conveniences, just like Parmeshwar has said. Okay, that you can choose, like I will suggest between 720p to 1080p. Okay. Okay, so right over here, just like in the school, you are having an ID associated with you, a roll number associated with you. Right over here as well, I've given an ID, a roll number associated with this particular div tag. Okay, this particular div tag right over here. React DOM is a variable. As you're able to see, we have Sayan, we have created var React DOM is equals to require React DOM. Okay. Okay. So I'm not being sarcastic. What am I? Okay, so div tag right over here, as you're able to see, okay, that you are having the ID as root. I've put up an ID, I've given it a unique identifying like data to it, okay, that uniquely identifies this particular div tag. Okay, so you are having ID as root right over here. So I want to render my h1 element. I want to render my h1 element inside my div tag, inside my div tag that has the ID of root. Okay, I want to render my h1 element on my website inside this div tag that has the ID of root. If you remember it correctly, when we were discussing about React virtual DOM and real DOM, I said that before the HTML tag, even before the HTML tag, you're having one more particular tag, that is the document tag. Do you remember that, guys? Please let me know. Do you guys remember it? Like just like 10 minutes ago, I said that in the React DOM itself, in the real DOM, even before the HTML node is there, there's another node on top of it called as the document. Okay, so that is how you are able to get, okay, you can use JavaScript to basically identify some of the tags using that particular document itself. Okay, using that document tag. So that document node is basically to access the DOM tree. That document node is basically to access the DOM tree, not doc type. Okay, I'm not talking about doc type, I'm talking about document node itself. Okay, that node, document node, is something that is available, that helps you to access the entire DOM tree itself. Okay, so right over here, I want to specify where do I want this h1 tag to be rendered. I want to specify right over here, where do I want this h1 tag to be rendered. Like I said, I want it to be rendered inside my root. Okay, inside my div tag called as root. This is the ID that has given to it. So I have to write document dot get element by ID. Get element by ID, and the ID that I want to use is root right over here. Okay, I want to go to the document, that is the DOM tree itself. I want to get the element by ID. I want to use root as the ID and get that element, that is the div tag from right over there. So I want to render my h1 tag inside the tag with the ID of root. Okay, I want to render my h1 tag inside the tag with the ID of root. Are you able to understand this question? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this question? Please let me know, guys. Thank you so much, TechBurnt. I will definitely try my best. Okay. Guys, able to understand this particular code? Please let me know, guys. I'm using the document. I'm using the DOM tree. Document basically gets me the DOM tree, and I put up the ID. I put up the ID as root. Okay, I put up the ID as root right over here. Okay, so I want to access that element by its ID. I don't know which element is that. I don't know if it's a div tag, h1 tag. I don't know that. I know that it has the ID of root right over there. Okay, so I get element by ID and I specify it as root. So it will get me the div tag. Okay, the place where I want the h1 tag to be rendered. Okay, the place where I want the h1 tag to be rendered. A DOM or document object model, guys. DOM or document object model. So I'll save this particular code, go back to my website, and as you're able to see, we are getting hello world coming up on our screen. As you are able to see, there is nothing inside the index.html. There is no hello world inside the HTML tag. Okay, are you guys able to summarize? Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. I was reading through the chats and I just read the word submerge right over there. I just repeated it right over there as well. Okay, so here as you're able to see, there is no hello world. Okay, there is no hello world right over here. Okay, but from here itself, I'm able to render a hello world on my screen using just React. Okay, using just React, I'm able to render hello world as an h1 tag on our screen. So this is just an example of the React code that we are writing. Now I wanted you guys, so what is odd about this code? Can somebody let me know? What is odd about this particular code? Can somebody let me know, guys? Can somebody identify something very like odd about this particular code? Like I want you guys to apply your IQs right now. Okay, I want you guys to say now this is something that is only about IQ, nothing technical. Even if I'm giving my brother who is currently studying medical this particular code and telling him that this is a JavaScript code, and he has understood, he already has attended the bootcamp and he knows that this is a JavaScript code itself. What is the problem with this entire thing? What is the problem with this entire code? Can somebody let me know? The first person who said it correctly, like two people said it correctly at once. That is Dhruvin Mehta and Vishal Avasthi. That's great, man. You guys are very smart. Like you're using JavaScript as well as HTML in the same code. This is the HTML code right over here. This is an HTML code right over here, and the entire like this page is really index.js. This is where you have to write your JavaScript code. How am I writing my H1 code right over here? How am I writing my H1 code? Like that is HTML code right over here. Are you guys able to see this? Please let me know, guys. Okay. Costa, were you listening to me properly? This is what we are doing right over here. Okay, this is the h1 tag, and this h1 tag is getting rendered inside the element called as root. That is the ID of root. So you are having the root, the div tag with the ID of root right over here, and you are rendering the h1 element inside of that. Okay, so you are using ReactJs to basically render the h1 element, put the h1 element inside of the div tag, having the value, having the ID of root. Okay, so the problem with this particular code that you are able to see from right over here is that you are having HTML as well as JavaScript inside the same code. How is that the case? Now this particular code that you have written right over here is called as a JSX code. This is not a JavaScript code. This is called as JSX, that is called as JavaScript XML code. Okay, this particular code is called as JavaScript XML code, or JSX in short. Okay, now this code looks very similar to JavaScript, but you can also put your HTML code inside of it. That's the only difference between the two. Okay, it has all the properties of JavaScript plus some additional properties as well that helps you write the JavaScript code in a bit ease as well. Okay, but you are also able to put your HTML code right over here. Okay, so as you're able to see, we are having the HTML. So now why is this happening? Now React as a module, React, the module that you're requiring right over here, also contain a compiler called as Babel. Okay, it contains a compiler called as Babel. Now what Babel does is it takes this JSX code, the new ES6 JSX code that is there, like the latest version of ES6 JSX code, and it takes it and that will compile it down, and then Babel will basically compile it down to a like very like vanilla JavaScript model. Okay, that can be read by any browser out there. Even the browser that your grandmom is using, it will be able to read this particular JavaScript code. Okay, it will be able to read this particular JavaScript code right over there. Now that is the use of this particular React module. Like one of the things that it contains is the Babel compiler that will compile this very high level JSX code down to simple vanilla JavaScript code. Simple vanilla JavaScript code. Now for example, if I wanted this to be written as like in vanilla JavaScript code itself, now how will this look like? Okay, let's try to see that. Okay, let's try to see how will this look like. Okay, let's try to identify it. Are you able to see this particular website, guys? Please let me know, guys. So this entire thing, if I didn't use JSX, if I was not using JSX, if I wanted to write this exact statement, react dom.render h1 blah 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 document dot blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff, okay, using just JavaScript, then the code that I will be writing, you don't have to understand it. Var h1 is equals to document. Again, I'm just creating a new node. Okay, so document is basically using the DOM tree. So I need to create a new node called as the h1 that I need to insert. So create element, and I will be creating the element called as the h1 right over here. Then I will be having the h1 dot inner HTML. That is the text that I want to put inside the h1 element. Okay, that is equal to hello world. Okay. Then I'm having my document dot get element by ID root. That is the, I'm getting the node of root. Okay, dot append child I need. So this is a tree, so you need to append a child. So if that root, okay, that div tag containing the ID of root is your parent, okay, if you want to append the h1 tag below it, then that would be child itself. So dot append child. Okay, and you want to append the h1 tag that you have created, the h1 node that you have created. Now I will be saving this, going back to my website, reloading the page. As you're able to see, the first one is being loaded by JSX, whereas the second one is being loaded by the JavaScript, by plain old JavaScript. But right now, JSX, you are able to do it in the single line of code, whereas right over here, you had to create the entire tree and then manipulate the entire tree using JavaScript. It took you 3 lines of code to do that. So JSX basically helps you to write your code with ease. Okay, that helps you to write your code with ease. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. You guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. So that is the beauty of Babel. Okay, it compiles. So this entire line that you have written actually gets compiled down to this particular line itself using Babel. So Babel will convert this entire line into these 3 lines for you. So you don't have to write that. You don't have to write that. And you can directly write your HTML code inside your JavaScript code itself. Now, can somebody let me know what is the full form of JSX? Can somebody let me know what is the full form of JSX? No, the second one won't like have the, because you're not using any type of React right over there, so that won't create a virtual DOM. That is basically playing with the real DOM itself. This is how you are able to play on with the virtual DOM. Okay, what is append child mean, Karan? We have already studied about like parent and child right over there in our previous classes. So if you want to insert, your h1 tag right over here in between your div tag, that means that your div tag is the parent and your h1 tag is the child. So if you want to append something to the div tag, you are basically writing append child to the div tag. Okay, that's absolutely clever, guys. That is JavaScript XML code. Okay, great, amazing, guys, amazing. Okay, so this is something that will stop right over here, guys. Okay, we'll be continuing tomorrow. Right now, we'll be focusing upon a very important question that is, like, I consider it very important. Okay, that is how to proceed further after this bootcamp. What should you do? Okay, what are the different things? What is the current scenario of placements, and what is the career opportunities available as a full stack web developer? What is a full stack web developer? All that particular stuff. Okay, let's try to understand that. Okay, so I told you guys about like what is front-end web development, what is back-end web development, what is DevOps, what is cloud computing? Have I told you guys this? Please let me know, guys. Have I told you guys this? Please let me know, guys. Have I told you guys about like what is front-end web development, back-end web development, DevOps as well as cloud? What is that? Okay, no issues in that. So I will just explain it to you guys. It won't take a lot of time. Just think about it. If your website is a restaurant, okay, just think about your website as a restaurant. Let's try to understand it in that particular way. Then you're having a front end to the restaurant, okay? Please be patient and please understand this fully, guys. Please do not miss out on a single word. I won't be able to repeat myself. There's a lot that we have to discuss, okay? So front end. backend, cloud, and DevOps. Okay, so right over here, let's try to understand what is front end, back end, cloud, and DevOps. Okay, think about your website as a restaurant. Okay, think about your website as a normal restaurant itself. So when you go to a restaurant, okay, you are having the tables and the chairs and the decoration. Okay, so you are having some type of decoration right over here, and you are having some curtains in the background, you're having some lights as well, okay, and so on and so forth. So the entire ambience of the restaurant itself, that as a user, and I'm like a customer, I'm going to a particular restaurant, I'm going there and sitting and eating right over there, the place that I can see around me is basically the front end of the restaurant. That looks beautiful, that looks amazing, and it is basically customer facing. Okay, it is basically customer facing. Basically, when you're going on any particular website, whatever you are able to see on that website itself is called as the front end of the website. Whatever you are able to see on the website itself, it is called as the front end of the website. Now, the technologies related to front end, I will be discussing it in like 5 minutes or so. Okay, so please be very patient with me. Okay, right now I'm just trying to make you guys the importance and what is the front end, what is the back end, and all those kind of stuff. So the restaurant itself, the website that you're able to see when you're going to google.com, the website that you're able to see, that is everything that you're able to see on your browser is the front end. Similarly, in a restaurant as well, the place where you are able to sit, you're able to see around yourself is the restaurant. Okay, is the front end of the restaurant. Now the back end is basically the kitchen. Okay, the back end is basically the kitchen. Now the kitchen isn't something that is visible to you. Okay, the kitchen isn't something that is visible to you guys. It is only accessible to the employees who are currently working in that particular place. Okay, it is only accessible to the employees who are currently working at that particular place. So that is the back end. Okay, inside of your so the chefs, the waiters, okay, all those will be able to go inside the backend, that is the kitchen of the restaurant. Similarly, for a website as well, the backend is a particular application. The backend is a particular application that you don't want to showcase to your user. You don't want to showcase to your customer. Now, why is that the case? If you start cooking in front of the customer itself, first of all, he will not feel very well. Okay, he will get all the fumes and it will be very hot. And this is not what you want for a customer in your restaurant. He wants it should be air conditioned, it should be as pleasant as possible. The second thing is, if you are cooking in front of the customer, he will be able to see how you are making the food. Your secret recipe that has been passed down to you from generations, on the basis of which you started this particular entire pizzeria or entire restaurant, is now lost. The user is able to know all your trade secrets. He is able to know all your business applications in its entirety, and you don't want to share that secrets with them. So that is why you are having the kitchen as a separate place, the backend as a separate place. Similarly, in a website as well, for example, when you're going to google.com, the website that you're able to look at is basically the front end. But what happens when you type a particular query? When you type a particular query, that query goes to the servers at Google. It goes to the server. So we'll be learning about servers right over here. Don't worry about it. We'll be going to a computer at Google where it has all the code. It has written a backend code. It has written a very huge piece of code that is able to go through different files and different places and like sort them out and give you the links and send it back to you. Send those links back to you. So that entire business logic that you have, that entire business logic basically exists on a computer somewhere. Okay, it exists on a computer somewhere that the user has no access to. The user has no access to. The user cannot go into the kitchen. Similarly, the user cannot get access to the business logic that you are having as a application, as a program running in a computer somewhere else. They are not able to access it. They are not able to see it. And that is the concept of backend. Now, backend also has one more additional stuff associated with it. That is the fridge. Okay, each of the kitchen that is there, they will have a cold storage or a storage room where they store all their spices or their vegetables, all their meat, and all those kind of stuff inside a cold storage or a storage room. Now that is basically where the chef will be. Then if he is getting an order, he will go into the store, he will get the items that is necessary for that, he will come and chop it off, he will apply the business logic, he will know how to cook, he will apply the business logic, he will create the dish for you and then send it back to the front end where the user is able to eat that food. Now this is called as, in the backend we call it as database. This is called as a database inside the backend. Okay, now this database that you are able to see right over here, it stores your user data, all your ID, password, which post are you commenting upon, which post do you like, what are the friends seeing, what are the friends that you are having, and so on and so forth. This is a database. Now AWS, Azure, and GCP are not databases. Okay, so do not, if you don't know, do not tell them. Okay, don't confuse the people. I will be coming to cloud. We are not right now at cloud, we are at database. So what happens is the front end, in the front end you write like inside google.com, you went and wrote that I want DevTown. Okay, I want to search for DevTown. It will send this request back to the kitchen. Okay, inside the kitchen, that is inside the business logic, inside the application they have to have built in some computer. Okay, the chef, that is the business logic. The chef, that is the business logic right over here, will look at your particular query, will go into the database. Okay, will go into the database where it has all the data of the entire world. It will get the information that you require. Okay, it will get the information that you require from the database. It will come with that particular information. It will cook, it will apply the business logic and cook the information that you need, and then it will show you all the links related to DevTown in your front end. It will show you all the links, okay, that you are able to see in your front end right over here. Now, how is the front end able to communicate with the back end? How is the front end able to communicate with the back end? Can somebody let me know what happens in the restaurant? How does your order goes to the kitchen, and how does your order from the kitchen comes back to your table? Can somebody let me know, guys? Please think about it. How does your order goes to the kitchen, and how does your food, okay, come back to your place? The waiters. Amazing, guys, the waiters. So you already know, see, the entire concept of front end back end is just like, we call it in Hindi Hawa. Okay, it's very easy to understand. It is something that you already know. It already exists. You're able to see this. The waiter is basically something. Okay, the waiter is basically something that will basically take your, so you have searched for DevTown right over here, will take your request, take it to the backend. Okay, take it to the backend where the chef is able to go to the database, bring out all the recipes and able to build the entire food for you. Will give to the waiter, and the waiter will then serve it to you. Now this waiter inside of your development is basically referred to as APIs. Okay, application programming interfaces, or APIs. Okay, now APIs is very easy to build. Okay, very easy concept to understand as well, and it exists. Like, we are going to have in the future a very good bootcamp from one of the leading APIs in the entire world, that is the Postman API. So people from Postman, that is one of the biggest companies in the entire world related to APIs in web development. If you're going into any big company, you will be using Postman APIs itself. So they will be coming and taking up one of the bootcamps at DevTown. So we are currently in talks with them, so it will be great to see you guys right over there as well. Okay, so this API is in charge of taking your order from the front end to the back end and bringing your food or your results from the back end and to the front end. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Great. So this is the entire concept of the front end and the back end. Now, if I'm able to understand everything from right over here, why does cloud and DevOps exist? Why do we having cloud and DevOps? What is the use of that? So now this backend, your entire kitchen lives somewhere. Okay, your entire kitchen lives somewhere. It may be a rented out apartment or something like that. Mostly the restaurants that anybody is building, it will be on a rent itself. Okay, they are taking up a place on rent and then they are building that entire restaurant up. Now, if you're taking a place on rent, it will be like 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees per month. But if you're buying that exact same location, it will be like maybe 1.5 crores at once. Do you have that kind of cash to basically set up an entire restaurant? Nobody has that kind of cash lying around. So mostly people take it upon rent. Okay, so the same thing goes on for cloud as well. This entire backend of yours, because this entire backend is nothing else but code. Okay, this entire backend is nothing else but code. Now this code needs to live somewhere. Okay, it needs to live on a particular computer. Now that computer is referred to as servers. That computer is basically referred to as servers. Each of these servers have the minimum cost of 3 lakh rupees per server. 3 lakh rupees per server if you are going to buy a server. That is like an average server that you will be able to get. Okay, not even a good server, an average server. A server is nothing else but a computer, guys. Okay, server is nothing else but a computer. Okay, so what does cloud does? Companies like AWS, okay, companies like GCP, companies like Azure. Okay, so AWS is by Amazon, GCP is by Google, and Azure is by Microsoft. Okay, so right over here, all these three companies have a many number of free servers around the world. Like millions and like thousands and millions of servers around the globe, they have it for free. They are not even utilizing it for their own companies. So what they decided that was for any other company to be able to like host its very own application on its very own server. It was a very big cost to be able to like buy a server, then maintain a server. It was a big cost associated with the company. So these companies, Amazon, Google. So first it was started by Amazon. So Amazon is the world leader in like cloud computing platforms. AWS has 80% of the entire internet right now runs on AWS itself. So AWS basically gives you the servers on rent. Okay, you can deploy your code on our server. So if I'm Amazon, you can deploy your code on our server itself, and I will charge you according to your usage. If you're using it for like hourly basis, daily basis, monthly basis, even for a few minutes if you're using, I will charge you only for that. You don't have to buy an entire server. So your costs are reduced. You're only paying for how much you are using the server itself. And along with that, the like cloud has a many number of features. So for example, like you don't want to get an entire workstation for running AI ML applications, so you can just deploy it to the cloud and run it right over there. So all that basically lives on the cloud. Okay, all that basically lives on the cloud. Your data as well. Okay, so right now you're saving your data inside your Google Drive or your maybe like Dropbox or something like that. What are that? They are cloud storages. These are cloud storages. So your data is getting stored in a server somewhere across the entire globe. Your data is getting stored somewhere across the entire globe. Similarly, right over here, the data that you're storing in the servers is basically your code itself, your backend code itself. Okay, that is where your cloud basically comes into place. Your database, your backend code, all that is basically now saved inside your cloud. And the best one right now is AWS. The best one right now is AWS, okay, which is the last one below GCP, that is Azure by Microsoft. Okay, so right now the world leader is AWS. On the second number you are having Azure, and on the third number you are having GCP. Okay, next comes the concept of DevOps. Okay, so now you want to franchise your entire like application. So for example, the first McDonald's that was ever built, the founder had to sit right over there and they had to build the entire like restaurant and have like the cooks and everything, build the machinery and have everything set up right over there. Now what if they want to franchise? What if they want to open up locations at various different places as well? So from right over there, the concept of DevOps comes into place. So instead of like, for example, this does not happen in a restaurant, but I'm taking this example. Right now your restaurant is functioning. Within a few seconds, 10,000 people came into your restaurant. You only have two chefs. How will you be able to cater to 10,000 people? You don't even have the sitting arrangement for that many number of people itself. So you must want to like immediately grow your entire business, like have more number of chefs, have more number of waiters, have more number of seating arrangement as well for these people. But that isn't possible. With the case of a restaurant. Okay, now that 10,000 people went away in like 5 seconds. They came, they ate, and they went away in 5 seconds. Again, now 2 or 3 people are coming up. You expanded the entire restaurant. You brought in like 15, 20 different chefs. You had like 30 different waiters right over there. Now everybody is gone. Now you are serving just 10 people right now. Is it a good idea to keep that many number of people with you at all times? Is it a good idea to keep that many number of people with you all the times? Please let me know, guys. That is where the concept of DevOps come into place. Now, like there are various technologies into DevOps. One of the features of DevOps is to handle this cloud like servers and everything. A server can only serve up to 10,000 people. After that, it won't be able to serve any more number of people. They will be getting like errors when they are trying to access your website. Now, if Google is getting access by 1 billion people at the same point of time every single second. If Google started hanging after 10,000 people, how will that feel? Like this, that the same with like the railway ticket bookings that you are having. When you're booking tickets for railway, like at the same point of time when you're booking the tickets, like the website starts hanging. Nothing is happening on the website itself. That is because they haven't applied DevOps right over there. For example, immediately 10,000 people came to your website, your backend will now be deployed to like 20 servers immediately. Okay, 10,000 people went away from your website, it will be scaled down to one particular server itself. You don't have to keep paying for the 10 servers. So all that is basically handled by DevOps. Basically, it's the operations for development. It is used for operations. Just like every company needs operative guys, okay, operations guys. Similarly, this is operations for development right over here. For example, if I'm developing a particular website, if I'm developing the front end or the or let's say the back end of my website, now I'm using like Node.js version something, I'm using Express version something, I'm using Postman version something, and so on and so forth. I've created the entire code on my laptop itself. Now, this code isn't going to live on my laptop. It will be deployed to a server. That server is somewhere else. You don't know what that configuration of the server is. Maybe you're working on a Mac. That server is of a Windows server. Okay, maybe that server has some other dependencies, some other versions of different languages. Maybe it is using JavaScript 5, ES6 instead of ES5. So all that versions you need to control as well. That is where DevOps also has a concept of containerization, where all the things that your code need to run, everything that you need to your code to run, that you are able to containerize it inside a box. You're able to containerize it inside a box and you're able to put that backend code inside of it. That is where the concept of DevOps come into place. Now, DevOps is a fairly advanced topic, okay? But any person who knows all these 4 topics, any person who knows how all these 4 topics works and how you are able to integrate with each other, okay, how you are able to integrate these topics with each other and create a website, that particular person is called as a full stack web developer. That particular person is called as a full stack web developer. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Okay, so that is the concept of full stack web development. Now, right now there are like, let's take it up and let's take up an example. There are 1,000 jobs in like web development. Okay, let's take up an example. There are 1,000 jobs available in web development. Now there are 15,000 people. This is the right now the condition in India. There are 15,000 people who know front end and back end together. These 15,000 people know front end and back end together. And there are additional, like there are some people like 500 people who know front end and back end plus cloud. There are like 100 people right now who know front end, back end, cloud as well as DevOps. Okay, now this particular company who is hiring like these 100,000 people who are these companies are hiring, they require, okay, so for example, think about it as yourself. If you were running a company, what would be better? To hire 4 people, you on an average will have to give a full stack web developer at least 15 lakhs per annum. Okay, at least 15 lakhs per annum. So what would be better? To give like 4 people, having one for front end, one for back end, one for DevOps, one for cloud, 15 lakhs each. That makes your cost as 60 lakhs. Or to get one guy from these 100 people, to get one guy from these 100 people who is able to handle your front end, back end, DevOps and cloud together and give him 30 lakhs per annum. Which would be better, guys? Please let me know. Which would be better, guys? Please let me know, guys. The one person out of this 100. Now, if they have these 1,000 places itself and they prefer this 100 people, if these 100 people are applying, they will get the highest priority to get selected. The highest priority with the highest package as well. And these 15,000 people wouldn't be even getting like a single priority, because from these 15,000 people, the only number of places that is left is 400. These 15,000 people have to fight for the 400 places. These 15,000 people have to fight for these 400 places. And that is the reason why most of the people get unplaced at the end, or they get at a very bad job at the very end of the day. And it's not what you want. You want to get a very well-respected job at the end of the day. Okay. Now that is the basic condition, and that is why I always say to go with full stack web development, not just front end and back end, because it increases your chance of getting the best placement possible. Okay. So right over here, if you try to understand, in full stack web development, you are having two career pathways. Okay. In full stack web development, you're having two career pathways. The first one is you have to go with a particular, let's say, freelancing, where you are working on your own. You are either working on your own startup, you are getting some clients on Fiverr or Freelancer or something like that, and you are making projects for that particular person or something like that. Then that is called as freelancing. For this, you only need to know full stack web development, and that is more than sufficient for you. You don't need to know anything else. The second type of people that I think so would be mostly existing in this particular boot camp would be the people who are interested in jobs. Okay, the people who are interested in jobs right over here. Now, these people who are interested in job, they cannot just go further with full stack web development. Even if you know like front end, back end, DevOps, as well as cloud, okay, still there is a very high probability that you won't be able to get the biggest company possible. You won't be able to go into Google, you won't be able to go into Microsoft, Amazon, or something like that. Because for these type of companies, like in jobs as well, there are two type of companies. One is the small scale companies like DevTown, okay, a small scale startup. So we are a small scale startup, we can like afford only paying like 25,000 rupees to a developer per month, not more than that. That's the maximum that we can afford, because again, like for us as well, it's very low, because we are like a non-profit. So for us, like paying 25,000 is also going from my own pocket. So that is the reason why we cannot afford to keep up like people like that. And there's a very like insecure jobs at startup, as you have currently seen. Thousands and thousands of people are being removed from companies, okay, due to the lack of like the hiring right over there. And the second type of companies are the big tech firms like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Flipkart, Jio, Samsung, Oracle, all these big tech firms. Now in startups, I'm also classifying it as TCS, Infosys, Wipro. All these companies will be paying you about like 3 to 4 lakhs per annum. 3 to 4 lakhs per annum. That's it. And these big companies will be paying you 2 to 3 lakhs per month. That is the difference. The annual CTC right over here is 3 to 4 lakhs per annum, and the monthly income right over here is 2 to 3 lakhs per month. That is the difference between the two. Okay. In case of the big tech firms, okay, in case of a big tech firm side over here, you cannot, for startups, TCS, Infosys, you just need to do like full stack web development, nothing else. Full stack web development is more than sufficient from right over here. Okay, full stack web development is more than sufficient right over here, guys. But for these big tech firms, like, see guys, I'm not telling you, like, I'm not a YouTuber. If I was a YouTuber, I would have said that, yeah, just learn full stack web development, placement. Everybody's hiring full stack web development. That's just bullshit. Okay, I've been taking up hiring drives for 15 companies up till now. I've myself got placed into more than 4 companies up till now. Okay, I've given interviews for more than 15 to 20 different companies. So I'm easily able to say that just learning full stack won't get you anywhere. Okay, so if you want to get into these big tech firms, you have to learn full stack web development. You have to learn DSA, or data structures and algorithms. You have to learn competitive programming as well. This is the bare minimum, plus your communication skills, which should also be good. Okay, communication skills. That is an additional thing. Soft skills, communication skills should be good. But full stack web development, data structures and algorithms, and competitive programming. Okay. That's great, Aarti, that you are having other work. But like I've already said, the classes will go on for 1 to 1.5 hours. Okay. So if you don't want, you can leave. Like, it's for you guys itself. Nobody is going to tell you this shit. Okay. I'm able to tell you guys this because I don't have any vested interest in it. This is the reason why we started DevTown, to be able to show you guys the mirror. That for you guys, if you're thinking it's very easy to get placement, you have to literally rub your ass off the entire day and study. That is the reason why we are getting placements. It's not that because we were just attending some shitty ass boot camp where we are just learning the basics and everything. Okay, there's a lot that you have to do. The boot camps are just made to be a mirror that you are able to resonate with. Okay. So right over here, full stack web development, data structures and algorithms, and competitive programming. Now competitive programming, now whatever I'm telling, don't contradict with me. Okay, I don't want to get into that debate of like why Python, why not this, why not that. Whatever technologies that I'm saying, that is something that the companies have told us that they want from us, because we also run a recruiting agency. Right over here, we also run a recruiting agency. So we have the non-profit work that we do. Okay, that is teaching students, training students in certain technologies, and then we are having the recruiting agency where we are helping different companies like Google, Microsoft, and we like help them take students from our end. So we train the students and we give these students to these companies. And this is not something like I'm not telling anything like that itself. You can basically go on devtown.in and check out that as well. So going on devtown.in, these are our graduates right over here. We have got students placed in Microsoft, Accenture, Google, Amazon, Samsung, Jio, Flipkart, Oracle, Walmart, Deutsche Bank, Barclays, Fidelity. Then you are having Cognizant, TCS, Infosys. Then you have Bale. We are having Deloitte. We are having British Telecom. We are having ZS Associates. We are having Herman, that is from Samsung. And for example, for the last particular recruiting that we had done right now, we have placed 800 students. Up till now, we have placed 4,800 students till this particular point of time. And the last particular batch of students of 800 that we placed, most of them went into different companies. As you're able to see, Google asked 5 students from us, they took 7, and that was the highest placement that was given to them. 60 lakhs per annum, that is what Google gave them. Microsoft was the second highest with like 48 lakhs per annum. They took 9 students. Amazon took 9. Samsung took 15. Flipkart took 21. 16 by Barclays. Walmart took 19. So Walmart and Flipkart is basically this, like right now, the same company. So in total, they hired from us 40 students. So as you're able to see, a lot many number of students got placed right over in these companies. And the average CTC for the full stack web development students were 13.3 lakh per annum. That was the average placements. They're easily able to understand that I'm talking about with experience, because these companies are basically telling us what do the students need to know. So right over here, first of all, if you're going with DSA, choose between either C++ or Java. The language that you should be proceeding further should be C++ or Java. No other language, guys. No other language. Don't tell me, what about JavaScript? What about Python? Just C++ or Java. I've told you guys. You can give me 100 other languages. I will still say C++ or Java. And in that as well, if you don't know Java, then I will suggest you guys to go with C++. But if you want an option, C++ or Java should be your language of choice to start learning data structures and algorithms. Complete data structures and algorithms in its entirety. Every single normal ass question that is there, you should be knowing it. Okay. For DSA and competitive programming, you should only use 3 platforms. Okay. Only 3 platforms. Again, like I said, DSA in C, DSA in Python, DSA in JavaScript. I don't care about that. That is all bullshit. That is of no use. Only in C++ or Java. Now, C as a language, I don't even consider it. Okay, nobody's asking you C right now except your college. So from the placement perspective, whatever you're studying in college is absolutely shit. You have to study it on your own. Okay, otherwise everybody who's going to college, every topper from the college would be in Google itself. But that's not the case. Okay, right over here for CP, the 3 platforms that I will suggest you guys is LeetCode for practicing DSA. LeetCode is the best place to practice DSA. Then you are having CodeChef. Okay, for your average level performances, there are like having lunchtime, dinner time, breakfast time, give all the time. Okay, there are like, they will have like 3 hours of sessions in which they will be getting 2 questions or 3 questions to solve. There will be like 6 days of sessions where you will be having like 6 days of competition where you'll be having 6 questions that you have to solve. So CodeChef, again, a great platform. Until and unless you have 5 stars on CodeChef. Once you have become 5 stars on CodeChef, only then go to Codeforces. Even after 7 years of coding, I haven't went to Codeforces up till now. I haven't went to code forces. But yes, if you consider yourself to be like code chef is so easy, then you can go to code forces. Don't go with Hacker Earth and Hacker Rank. They just give you a false sense of accomplishment that you know shit where you don't know anything. Okay, don't go with Hacker Earth and Hacker Rank. They are like A, B, C, D. Yeah, you know A, B, C, D. You are excellent. You can read Shakespeare. Now go. They are like that. You will not be able to read Shakespeare by learning ABCD. Like just learning ABCD isn't sufficient. Okay, so you need to practice on lead code chef, and code forces. Only these particular three. And see, code forces as well. Do not start right now. You won't be able to do anything. Okay, focus upon lead code and code chef itself in the beginning. And see. CPDSA is something that you have to do every single day. It shouldn't matter whether it's your holiday, it's your birthday, you are traveling, you are having your parents are having anniversary. You have to do every single day. Like if you are not able to denote time for your own, like to improve your own lifestyle. Now see, earning 3 lakh rupees a year and 3 lakh rupees a month makes the difference of going around like in some shitty ass Alto your entire life and going around in the Mercedes Benz. That's the difference that you are able to make. And that entire difference is made in your college days itself. That entire difference of your entire life, how you, your family, your children will be living, will be made in your college life itself. Okay, so this opportunity, if you are leaving it, you are a bigger fool than anybody would have anticipated. And the only thing that you have to give right over here is your time. Your friends will come and go, man. Your friends will come and go. Your school friends, you're not in touch with them right now. Many of your school friends, you're not in touch with you right now. Your college friends will not be in touch with you after a few years of job. Now you're wasting your precious time on your friends instead of studying and getting a better placement. That is up to you, man. That is up to you. That is your choice. Nobody can force you to live your life better. Now, my basic vested result for me is that I need to make sure I will hammer it into you up till the day that I'm getting results from you. Because for me, results are very important. These companies who are hiring from me, Google hired 7 students. They came for 5. They hired 7 from me at 60 lakhs per annum. I need to make sure that the next time they are coming, they are hiring 13 from me. Double of what they have hired right now. Only then I'm able to prove my worth to these companies that my students are the best. You don't have to think about them. For that, I will torture you to the end of the world as well. You run, I will come behind you. You don't have to worry about that. The thing is, DSA and CP you have to do, because without that, you won't be able to get into a interview. Okay, where a particular person is interviewing you. Before that, you are having coding rounds. Before that, you are having coding rounds. There are tests that are there. And these tests, if you're not clearing it up, you are the bacha, you are the king of full stack web development. You won't be able to showcase it to anybody. Nobody will be sitting right over there in the interview because you haven't got any interviews. To be able to reach the interview and showcase your full stack web development skill set to get the highest placement possible, you have to first cross that exam. To get into an NIT, you have to cross the JEE Mains. And that JEE Mains right over here in tips of placement is your coding rounds. Okay? It's your coding rounds right over there. Okay, so that is the reason why C++ or Java, then DSA, then competitive programming is highly essential for you guys. You have to do this. You don't have any choice. Okay. See, people are cheating anywhere. Okay, code shape and lead code is just for practice. Nobody is seeing those stars and being impressed by it. Everybody knows that 30 to 40% people right over there have fake stats. Okay, everybody knows that. I'm also recruiting. I never look at a particular profile and go like, "Arey, 5 stars on CodeChef. Okay, yeah, I will be hiring this particular person." No. He has to give an exam before coming right over there. That exam is something that brings him to the interview. And then in the interview as well, I ask him questions about the exam. Whether if he has cheated, I try to figure it out right over there. And then I go to full stack web development. Before that, never. It's never like, "Arey, kya profile hai? What a profile, man. I will just offer him the job." This is never the case with anybody. Okay. Then comes full stack web development. So we have a program right over here that we have created. Like I said, before that, we used to do it for free. So I used to conduct these programs for free. That is a full stack web development training and internship program on behalf of Google. But I wasn't able to handle that many number of students. Right now as well, I take up one batch. After this particular boot camp from like 9:30, I have a batch of my own of 2 hours that I take up every single day. And so I was not able to handle like almost 1,000 students were registering every single month. So I talked to my friends at various companies who are working at like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Samsung, Cisco. So I talked to them, and these are the 35 instructors that we are having right over here. And these are the people right now who are teaching in our training and internship program. We have people from Google, Amazon, McKinsey and Company, Morgan Stanley, American Express, Google, Sony, Goldman Sachs, Porsche, Geo, Oracle, Cisco. So these people, we bring them in from various different companies who come up on a daily basis for 2 hours and teach you guys everything from C++ to Java to CP to DSA, and then the entire full stack program. So for that, we have created this entire brochure, and this brochure is basically like it has the entire syllabus as well. Even I'm able to understand, even if you're not joining the program, don't worry about it. You can still like use this entire syllabus and study on your own. It will take a lot of time. For me, it took me 4 years, but like it's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. If you want the mentorship, you can join the program. If you don't want it, this syllabus is more than sufficient. Just follow this syllabus line by line. Start out with C++, then go into data structures and algorithms. The topics that you need to cover in data structures and algorithms is introduction to programming in C++ or Java. So we are having in our program right now, we have updated it to C++ as well as Java. Okay, mathematics, bit manipulation, recursion, arrays, searching, sorting, matrix hashing, strings, linked list, tag, queues, dequeues, trees, BST, heap, graph, greedy algorithms, backtracking, dynamic programming, try, segment, binary, index trees, disjoint sets. These are everything that you need to know in DSA. Once you have completed these DSA topics, once you have completed with mathematics and bit manipulation, start with the CP questions for that. Once you have completed recursion and arrays in DSA, start with the CP questions for that. And then move on from right over there. Okay? Okay, so see, let me just make you guys understand one more thing. Okay, this is a question that many people like ask me every single time, and I've always been very clear with this. Okay, so let us take up the example of, okay. So Vikas Kumar is not a computer science graduate. Vikas Kumar is not from computer science. He is from mechanical engineering. You are having then, one more person was there, Raghav Kumar. Raghav Kumar is from chemical. Okay, then you are having, let's see, there was one more person from biotech. I think so, it's not on the list right now. Then there was one more person from biotech. We have people from merchant navy who got placed in Amazon. Merchant navy. He's not even from BTech. He was from merchant navy. We have people who were from like commerce, BSc, MSc, who got placed into companies like Amazon as well as Samsung. So see, these companies do not look at what you have studied. They only look, do you have the right skill set? Do you have the right knowledge? Were you able to like cross on from this particular examination, come to the interview, impress the interviewer? If you were able to do that, we need to have you. Okay, that is the entire stuff that they are looking forward to. But one more thing that I need you guys to understand is that you guys need to make sure, whether you are from MSc, BSc, mechanical, civil, electrical, chemical, I don't care about that. Your GPA should be more than 7.5. Your GPA should be more than 7.5. Some of the recruiters will be like that, who will look at your GPA. They don't care about what you have done. They don't care. They will look at your GPA and they will think out one thing, that you were given some responsibility in college to get this particular marks and you were not able to accomplish that responsibility. You are an irresponsible person. So having a GPA above than 7.5 is essential. See, there are some YouTubers who will be like, GPA is not important. Companies are hiring without GPA as well. There is 4 people in the entire nation of almost 1 billion people that they are hiring without like any certificate or without having a good GPA. And we are not from that 4 people. If that 4 people is right over in this particular bootcamp, still from 1.3 thousand people, only 4 people are there. The probability of that is so low. Just think about it. Us, we have to consider our case as a normal case, a normal human being. For us, the case is we need to make sure our attendance is also better. Our attendance is also better than before. This is what we have to do. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. If you are having a low GPA, start to improve upon that as well. You have time, start to improve upon that, guys. Okay. You have to start to improve upon that, guys. Are you able to understand this? Please let me know. You have to have a minimum of 7.5 GPA, guys. Minimum of 7.5 GPA. Okay. Okay, now when you're going into web development fundamentals, okay, start with the absolute fundamentals itself. HTTP, HTTPS, HTML, CSS, GitHub, version control, responsive design and CSS, grid and box layout, Tailwind CSS, Bootstrap CSS, JavaScript ES6. These are the fundamentals right over there. Okay, fundamentals. Then you are having the tech stack that you have to learn. Then you are having the front-end web development. For front-end web development, take up ReactJs itself. Take up ReactJs. Okay, getting started with React, component lifecycle models, React functional components, Webpack, using third-party components, component lectures. Okay, then you are having styling in React, routing in React, React hooks, state management in React and Redux, connecting to backend. So all that will be covered in your React as your front-end web development program itself. Then you have to move on to back-end web development. In back-end web development, take up Node.js, Express, microservices using Node.js and Express. This is something that many people leave out of. Okay, many people leave this out. Okay, you have to study microservices with Node and Express right over there. Integrating MongoDB, validation and error handling, building RESTful APIs with Node.js, Express and MongoDB, authentication and security. All this you have to study in back-end web development. Then you need to move further with DevOps. Inside your DevOps, you have to go with Docker and containers. Okay, you want to go with automating CI and CD right over here. You want to go with then Kubernetes. Okay, this is all that you have to do that. You don't have any particular choice. Okay, and after that you have to continue with AWS, that is of a cloud. This entire PPT is available on our website, that is devtown.in. You can go right over there and you can like take it up from there as well. Okay, so all this you need to make sure that you are able to complete before your interviews. Okay, now there are three opportunities that come to your colleges at any point of time. Any person who is in college, three opportunities are there. The fourth opportunity will be given to you at the end of second year. That is the place where you'll be given 2 months of internship. If you're able to get that, your probability of going into a great company is very high. Very, very high. The second opportunity is given to you at the end of the third year for a 6 months internship. Okay. If you are able to get a 6 months internship, again, the probability of getting into a good company is pretty high. Okay. And then at the end of fourth year, that is placements. If you're not able to get at that point of time as well, you have almost lost all your opportunities. These are the three opportunities that you are having. Okay. These are the three opportunities that you are having at any point of time, guys. Okay. How much time does it take to learn all DSA, CPI, and full stack web development? Now, usually I studied who are joining in the program. I tell them, you are joining into a program, I want 3 months of your time. I don't care whether you're having a girlfriend problem, you are having some other family problem, you are having any type of problem. 3 months of your life you have to dedicate it to this particular program itself and nothing else. Nothing else. You forget how to like shit, you forget how to eat. I don't care about it. This 3 months you have to give it for only this. Every single day, 2 hours of live classes on Zoom by a particular person from Google, Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, big companies. And after that, you have to give whatever you have learned in that 2 hours, you have to sit and revise it in 1 hour. That is 3 hours right over there. If you have any doubts, the instructor will be sitting in the class for another 2 hours. If you have any doubts, go over there, ask it out from the instructor itself. After that, spend 2 hours of your entire day for DSA and CP every single day. 5 to 6 hours a day you have to give for CP and DSA. Then it will take you 3 to 4 months to complete everything. To complete everything from scratch. Okay, from scratch. Okay, that is, I'm telling you that you don't even need to know how to program as well. I'm telling you that will take you 3 to 4 months at maximum. But if you're doing it independently, and if you're not like, I know, because for me as well, I lost the motivation somewhere like around after 2 months, and then I stopped doing everything. And after 3 or 4 months, I started again. So it will take you a years to complete it. Okay, if you're able to have that motivation under you, just take this particular document from our website, take this syllabus and start doing it on your own. Start doing it on your own. It's very simple, guys. Okay, if you're not able to do that, if you want someone to be able to mentor you, to be able to guide you, okay, then you can definitely join the training and internship program as well. We have dedicated the past 2 years of our life to create this entire program with only one aim. We don't want you guys to be best web developers in the entire world. That is not my aim. That is not at all my aim. My aim is just one thing. I want you guys to get into a good company. That is it. That is my aim. The last batch, we placed 800 students with an average placements of 13.3 lakh per annum in full stack web development. That was the average placement that we were giving. That is the main thing. For us, it's very important that you guys are getting placed, because of course, like people from Google and Geo and Morgan Stanley and McKinsey and companies not going to come and teach you guys for free. Okay, they charge something from us. So that is what we do. We bring these teachers in. I'm also one of the instructors. I take up the batch from 9:30 onwards. Okay, 9:30 to 10, and that goes on to like 12 o'clock itself, okay, in the midnight. But yeah, all these classes are there after 7 o'clock in the evening. We are having full stack development, C++, Java, CP, DSA that we cover in 3 months, 2 hours of live classes every single day on Zoom. After the classes has ended, we provide you guys with the class recordings as well, with lifetime access for the same, so that you guys are able to revise it from right over there. The costing that we get is like the instructor charges us 5,500 per student. Per student, they charges us 5,500 rupees. That because someone from Google is coming on every single day after going to office after 7 o'clock. So he's charging a lot from us. 5,500 rupees per student they charge from us. We have to give a taxes of about 1,200 rupees on top of that. And the rest of the amount, it goes into the entire management stuff. Including GST and taxes, the cost of the program is 7,500. The cost of the program is 7,500 for the entire 3-month program. For the entire 3-month program that is there. The only prior knowledge that is required before the program is English. Because the mode of communication will be in English, because communication skill is extremely important when you're going into placements. You cannot sit in an interview and talk to them in Hindi. Okay, you have to talk in English itself. Okay, that is the reason why communication skills are extremely important. That is the only prerequisite right over there. And see, like I am able to understand that 7,500 is also a very big amount for many people. But when I went to different companies, like before starting DevTown, I thought that this must be existing in the market, man. How is this not existing anywhere? Then started searching for that. So one of the programs that I found very likable was Scalar. So Scalar program is something that I thought that was, I thought that it was one of the best programs right over there. And we started researching about it as well. We found that the cost of the program at Scalar, the same program that we are currently telling you, the same program, the cost at Scalar is 2.5 lakh rupees. And I was like, there must be someone who will be offering it for like a less amount of money as well. Who is going to like do a program for 2.5 lakh rupees? Okay, so I started researching more about it. I went to Coding Ninjas. Right over there for full stack web development. Like I've started looking for two full stack web development. That was the first program that we created. So right over here, as you're able to see, web development, full stack web development right over here. It covers, let us look at what are the different stuff that it covers right over here. HTML, CSS, Node.js. Okay, so it doesn't cover React as well. That's great. So it includes data structures, algorithms, front-end web development, back-end web development with Node.js, and the cost is 50,000 rupees. The cost is 50,000 rupees. So that is the time that I decided to start DevTown. Initially, I wasn't charging anything. I conducted the classes and the training program for free itself, but I wasn't able to handle it on my own. And there was nobody else to help me out as well. So there was no other instructor who will do it for free. That is the reason why we brought in people from various different industries, and we told the students that, see, if you want to continue, we can continue, but these instructors will be charging you this much. If you want, we can continue with the program. And that is how we started this. Now this program is not available for everybody. If you're going on our website, you will be easily able to see that the course price is 10,000 rupees. Okay, this because we don't accept anybody else outside the boot camp. Because that is the reason why we show it as 10,000 rupees, where nobody will enroll from right over there. We don't want students outside the boot camp. The reason for that is very simple. I make it very clear in the boot camp that the next 3 months of your life, I want you to dedicate it to this particular program and nothing else. And that is the only reason why on the website, we never take in students from the website. We issue them the refunds and we tell them that, dude, like, you are not suitable for this particular program. For this program, you need total dedication for the next 3 months. Because we need to make sure that you are getting placed. That is the only thing that we need to do. Because without that, companies won't be hiring from me from the next time. And the entire thing that I'm trying to develop right over here, that would go all in waste. My entire hard work of the past 2 years to build this entire structure up will go all to waste. So if you are interested but you are not ready to work hard, then please don't enroll into the program. I really beg of you. Okay, this is only for those students who are really serious for their future and who are ready to give the next 3 months to me. That's it. That's it. The timings for this particular program is after 7 o'clock in the evening itself, because all the instructors are working in the morning, so they don't have time to take up the batches in the morning itself. All the classes are there in the evening after 7 o'clock for 2 hours of live session on Zoom for 5 to 6 days a week. That is the entire thing. There are 2 batches. One of the batches is going to start from the 15th of July. Okay, one of the batches is going to start from the 15th of July and the other batch is going to start from the 1st of August. These are the 2 batches that we are having. For the 15th of July batch, we are having 10 seats remaining in full stack. Because each class, we are only having 60 to 70 students. These instructor is able to pay individual attention to each and every student right over there. And right now, we are having 10 seats remaining in the July batch. August batch, we have just started, so seats are like plentiful right over there. It's only on the first come first basis itself. It's only on the first come first basis itself. But I want to understand how many of you are interested to join the program, because if there are many number of students who are interested to join the program, we have to create additional batches. It takes some time for us to arrange instructors and then create an additional batch for you guys. So can I guess to know like how many people are interested, just like interested right over there in the live chat, so I'm able to get an idea that, okay, if 20 or 30 people are interested, then maybe like most of them will be for August batch and some for July, so we don't need to create a new batch. Otherwise, if more than that people are interested, then we will have to like create new batches for that. Okay, like I said, right now we have first year students, second year students, third, fourth year students, everybody can enroll. It's better to enroll as soon as possible, because you have more time to refine your skills. That is also something I am suggesting to you guys. Okay, so a many number of people are interested. Dude, like, see, again, I'm telling you guys, don't just write interested. If you're really like ready to work hard for the next 3 months, only then. Don't waste your money. In 7,500, you will be able to buy Netflix, Hotstar, Prime, and maybe some other like non-appropriate stuff as well. Okay, you can spend all that money right over there. For like almost 3 months, you can spend it on your entire ash in your college. Okay, you can do that. This program is only for those who are ready to work hard for the next 3 months, man. Okay, so the fees for the entire thing is 7,500, including taxes for the entire 3 months. Okay, that is the entire fees. For those who are interested or those who are having any doubts as well, they can reach out to me on my WhatsApp number. I'll provide you guys with my WhatsApp number as well. Give me a second. So you can reach out to me on this particular WhatsApp number. Someone from my team or me personally will be handling your queries right over there. For those who want to enroll into the program, okay, only those message me right over there. We'll provide you where to enroll from as well. Like I said, this program is only for the students who are from the bootcamp. So we don't give the 7,500 to anybody else. Okay, just for the bootcamp students, because we need to make sure that these students are the ones who are getting the benefit of the entire program. Okay, so the cost of the program is 7,500, including taxes. Okay, for the entire 3 months. For those who are interested in the program, they can send me a hi or a dot or something like that, or whatever their questions are. Okay, if they have any questions or something like that, they send it to me on this particular WhatsApp number. I have provided to you guys as well. Okay, from right over here, you can reach out to me. I will have a good conversation with you if you are interested for that. If you are having any queries, any doubts, okay, there is, yes, 7,500 for the entire 3 months. That is the entire cost. Like I said, we are a non-profit platform, so we have made our aim, like if we could have reduced the cost, like we even talked to like some of the government agencies as well, that could like we not pay the taxes on this and reduce the cost even further, because we are a non-profit. And they asked for 1.5 crores in booze, and I was like, dude, I don't have that kind of cash with me. So that is the main problem, okay, and in India it's very difficult to do something good, okay, and that is why we started doing this, okay. Yes, so there are three placement rounds that we organize. The first is the instructor in the class itself. The instructor is from a big company. If you're able to come into notice of that instructor that you're a good student, then he gives you referrals for these different companies. That is the first round of placements. The second round is our partnerships with various companies. So Google sends us that. Last time they told us that I will hire 5 students from you. Flipkart told that I will hire 15 students from you. Flipkart ended up hiring 21 from us. Google ended up hiring 7 from us. And the third round is our generic round that we are having, like different companies give the posting for their placements and we help you guys, train you guys for that. So we train you in interview preparations via mock interviews, resume building, GitHub, LinkedIn preparation, and all that from right over there. Okay. So if you guys are interested for that, you can reach out to me on my WhatsApp number and I will help you guys out for the same as well. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay. I've provided the WhatsApp link on the live chat as well, guys. Okay. Sir, I've done DSA in Java, doing CP and parallelly with web dev. Is there enough to do, or I have to learn other technologies? In web development, whatever technologies that I've mentioned today, try to complete all that. That would be more than sufficient. More than sufficient. You don't have to do anything else after that. Okay? If you are doing DSA and CP as well. Okay? If you are doing DSA and CP as well. Dinesh, we have tried to make it free, like because we also have to pay the instructor. I don't have that kind of cash to be able to pay like 3 lakh rupees to 3 instructors every month. Like I also don't earn that much. Like my earning is like 4 lakh rupees per month from my office, so I also don't have that kind of cash. But yeah, we have some sort of like relaxations, and that is the reason why we have kept the cost so low at 7,500 for the entire 3 months right over there. Okay, so for those who are interested to join the program, I've sent you guys the link on my WhatsApp link right over there. Okay, like I said, software engineers earn a lot. Software engineers earn a lot. So it's always great to like, and you don't even have to be from software engineering. You can be from any department and you can apply for a software engineering job if you have the right skill set. That is the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. Okay. So mine is a little bit less. My students who got placed into Google have an annual salary of 60 lakhs per annum. They earn more than me. I'm very proud of them as well, of course. But yeah, sometimes like we when we meet and they are like, sir, hum party dete hain. And I'm like, shit. Okay. So day 5. And of course, man, after you have got placements, you have to give me a party as well. Huh? That is also an included cost in that. Okay. So once I've got the placements, I will take a party from you. I will not leave you like that. Okay. Okay. So right over here, this is the attendance link for today. Okay. The WhatsApp link right now is shared to you on your I've pinned the WhatsApp link as well inside the live chat. You can definitely approach me from right over there. If you have any questions, any queries related to the program, definitely let me know. Either me or someone from my team will be helping you out with the same. Okay, so don't worry about it. So thank you so much, guys. Yes, DSA CP is also any type of software engineering job, whether it be in data science, whether in web development or any other field, requires data structures and algorithms and competitive programming. You have to do that. Okay, you have to do that. There is no other option, guys. Okay. Okay, so we'll end the class right over here. Those who want to approach me on WhatsApp, I've already provided it in the live chat itself, so you can approach us from right over there. Okay. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow, guys. Those who are coming up tomorrow, those who want to enroll into the program, again, it will be great to see you right over there. The one of the batches is going to start from the 15th of July, and the other one is going to start from the 1st of August. So definitely, it will be great to see you out there. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thank you.